guys had only put up the first 2 episodes. It said episode 4, so
yeah, there's 4. There's 4. You see it now?
Yeah.
The cool thing about our Twitch streams is it's real life. You know, it's us playing a game with our families around us.
Yeah.
Cool. She found it.
Okay, Heath, we are actually streaming, just FYI, so don't badmouth anybody.
Yep. Keep clothes on.
I mean, keep talking. It's just...
Well, that ruins all my plans.
Oh, well, shoot. All right, let me stop. Tell me what you got. We're just going to sit here and do this until Mike is available. Wow, I'm going to strangle my own spit. Until Mike's available. I know if anybody's out there listening.
You daylight savings time.
I know. I mean, there's this culturally advanced civilization that doesn't feel the need to change the time by an hour in the fucking 21st century. I mean, seriously.
Welcome to America.
Yeah. Must be money somehow made by it.
Well, since we're live, we can't start singing the Disney show tunes that we were doing earlier.
just the dance. Interpretive dance.
Okay. Interpretive dancing.
Aggressive interpretive dance.
Naked and violently. What was that comedian talking about crossing the desert nakedly and violently? I forgot.
I don't know that one.
Ago. I think Heath, you and I listened to something like that, and it was he crossed the desert nakedly and violently.
Yes, nakedly and violently. Yes, I remembered that and nothing else.
Basically, yeah.
I wonder what we were doing when we were watching.
That set us both into a fit of laughter.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. This has been, God, this is before your girls were born. When you were living in Atlanta, there was something that came on the radio. We were in your old Magnum, or no, was it a Magnum? Yeah, it was Magnum, not the Charger, but Magnum, right?
Yeah, Magnum.
Magnum, and it came on the radio, or we listened to some sort of comedy skit, and we just teared, can't breathe, laughing for about 20 minutes because we kept on thinking about the idea of it, and it was something that's absolutely the most ludicrous thing ever. And I just remember to this day, that's the funniest I think that we've ever laughed at something. And
never laughed.
I cannot remember. I wish I could remember what it was. Absolutely.
Yeah, I remember. I kept choking on my own spit. It was so bad.
It was absurdly funny.
Yeah.
It was a comedian?
It was some sort of comedian skit. And
okay.
I couldn't tell you if it was even recent back then. And I mean, that was 15, 16, 17 years ago maybe when that happened. I mean, it's been a minute. I don't know if it was when you were moving to Maryville, because I remember us doing something or going after something. I don't remember. We were in Alpharetta. But
I've been there.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Do not remember.
Oh, my God.
I used to live in Atlanta.
Hilarious.
Okay.
So, yeah, I
What
moved
part
there.
of Atlanta? So whenever you say you used to live in Atlanta, someone always asks, what part of Atlanta? Because no one lives in Atlanta.
Right. It started out in Marietta, then we went to Buckhead, and then moved out of Atlanta to Woodstock.
Oh, cool.
So we were there about 3 years, and yeah, it was. I worked at the same place for 2.5 of those years, and the traffic wasn't so bad the first year because I lived literally across the street from where I worked. But it was kind of funny. The commute still took on the order of 20, 25 minutes because I had to drive a mile away or about half a mile away, park at the parking garage, and then they would send a shuttle and just shuttle us back and forth between the lot. And so after about 2 weeks of that, I said, nope. And my wife started dropping me off and picking me up.
How long did I live down there with you, Heath? It wasn't even a year. It's 9 months.
It was, it wasn't a year.
And the trouble was, I was an LPN at the time, and transferring a license from Tennessee to Georgia, it takes forever. It just takes a lot of time, a lot of paperwork, and blah, blah, blah. So I spent that time working at Ruby Tuesdays. And
oh, wow.
That's all I did. Working at Ruby Tuesdays in Atlanta, I'm a horrible waiter, so I never made good tips. But
it's the resting bitch face.
I'll cheese more. The funny thing, though, is at least back then, Ruby Tuesdays had this wow system, right? Like if you exceed sales in drinks, you get a
I remember
wow.
you talking about that now.
And if you exceed
Appetizer and a
appetizers
dessert
and all
yep.
this different stuff. And I had this really bad habit of wearing these jeans I wasn't supposed to wear. Like I just wore them, even though the regional boss would come in and say, "Those jeans are not good. You should wear some other." And I'm like, "Okay," and I didn't care. I just kept wearing them anyway because they fit and they were comfortable. Anyway, literally the day that I went in there, because I had been accepted to go back to UT in Knoxville, they had announced that I had not acquired.
Oh yeah, I remember you had the board. You had like a ranking board.
Yeah,
or
we had a ranking
right?
board.
Yeah.
And to get a single wow is good. That means you've got one or two of these items above a certain level, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this last shift, or this last week of shifts, I had worked the bar back. So I had a lot of bar tables and all this thing. And I had I had exceeded expectations on all four of these different areas, which is called a double wow. Right? So it's huge. It's this big deal. And I go in there and I walk in and it's my last shift. I'm there to tell them that literally this is my last day. I quit because I suck at this and I'm going to go back to Knoxville.
No notice?
Well, that was my notice.
Yeah.
I walk in and I'm sitting here in my mind going, yay, I got accepted to UT. I'm going to go to, at the time I was going pre-med. I'm like, yes, I'm in. I'm going back to school, blah, blah, blah. So I'm excited. I walk in the door and like all these other waiters and waitress staff are walking in. They're looking at me. They're going, congratulations. That's amazing. I'm like, how the hell did you find it? I just got the letter today. It's just in my mind though. I'm like, thanks. So I'll walk in, and first thing I see is the store manager, the regional manager, and the district manager standing around talking, and I'm wearing those fucking jeans. So I walk in, I'm like, well, all right, so I'm quitting anyway, so it doesn't matter. And I forgot my manager's name. I was like, hey, can I talk to you? He's like, yeah, we want to talk to you. You did a great job. I'm like, how did you guys find out? What's going on here? Anyway, they explained the whole double wow, which I'd never heard of until I actually did it. But the regional director, the one that kept on telling me to change pants, he looks at me, looks down at my jeans, and goes, "Man, you got a double wow, even wearing those pants." I'm like, "Thanks," and I quit. I'm going back to school, and they're all just like looking at me, dumbfounded. Like apparently nobody had ever done it at the store before. So I'm a lousy waiter. I don't know how I did that, but apparently the stars were aligned, and the gods were in my favor.
I was reading something a long time ago. It was about, talking to people and largely just small talk. And one of the things this guy was talking about is like it's a fairly common trick I'd never heard of. But if you see somebody and it can't be a stranger, it's got to be somebody you know, but you want to say something nice to them, you say congratulations. Oh. And it's amazing because it's like usually somewhere in someone's mind, there's something good that has happened to them. And it could have been like a year ago. Mm-hmm. And you may not know what that is, right? But you say congratulations to them, and all of a sudden that comes to their mind. It's like, they're doing what you said, Matt. It's like, how did they know?
Yeah, right.
It's a nice thing to say. And all of a sudden it's like, wow, they're really, it's a trick. So, but still it's like two things. It's like you're saying something nice, and also, if it works, it makes them feel like that you actually know something about them.
Like you care about them. You pay attention
exactly.
to them. Yeah.
Yes.
Was this in like a book about how to manipulate and gain friends?
Ish.
It sounds like something out of a book about how to manipulate and gain friends. So now you just go around saying, congratulations, everybody, and they love you.
That's like, good job. Good job. Good job. Congratulations.
Good job.
Good game. Mm-hmm. There was a lady at a cashier at Target the other day, and she had the shirt. It was a red shirt because they always wear red.
They're all gonna die.
Well, yeah, right. It's convenient that I live near one. Maybe they'll take out the apocalypse. We'll hit there first, and I'll know. Anyway, she had a shirt, and it was in big letters that said, "You're kicking me, Smalls. You're kicking me, Smalls." And I was like, I thought the line was, "You're killing me, Smalls." And she's like, "Yeah, it's a play on that because of the little one that's kicking me inside." And I was like, "Oh." I was like, congratulations. Actually, I think I forgot to say congratulations because I was like, oh, I get it. Ha, 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 ha. And then I just walked away, after saying thank you for the for that.
Yeah, that somehow in my mind that intersects with the conventional wisdom of never congratulating a woman that she's pregnant
Oh God.
unless you know for a fact that she's pregnant.
And even just don't. Just don't.
I didn't, and I was like, should I have gone back and said something? But I don't know. But no, it was funny. You're kicking me, Smalls. That's pretty
Yeah.
funny. The one that my wife thought was the funniest one was a green shirt. It was kind of a dark green shirt, and down, kind of down low, where on the belly portion of the shirt, it said "watermelon smuggler."
Yeah.
And I remember we were walking somewhere, before my son was born, and somebody just like over there looked over at us and then just howled laughing. It's like, that's great. Oh man.
We are experiencing a
So-
lull.
Well, I was going to ask. So when we finished last, I don't want to get into the game because we're waiting on Mike, but when the gnome squirted, you
What?
made a comment that you didn't expect that to happen, right?
When the what? When the gnome what?
Huh?
Escaped.
Oh.
What did you say though? You did
Squirted.
squirted. Oh, okay.
Yes.
No, I had no. That of course it didn't go any way at all that I expected or designed. It never does.
That's part of the game.
It's part of that is absolutely the game. That is the game.
It's just testing the DM's improv skills.
Being on your toes and just making the best out of it, and trying to do as much yes and as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The him running away was that planned?
It was whenever you grabbed him and he scored it out that became the plan.
Well, I mean, was his intention was to run away or was it the fight?
Well, that'll
guess.
be a little too much. Too
Okay,
much
okay.
behind the
Okay.
scenes.
All right.
That's fair.
But I will say that it did not go at all. It was no real plan. Like again, the way I DM is, I have a theme. Everybody's a faction. I know what he wants. I know why he wants it. Like I know the things that he wants and needs.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I try to react however the PCs and other NPCs react. So that was the only thing in my mind that in his mind was the safest bet, because you guys went in there, you scared the hell out of him by being the one-armed man, holding up the four-fingered man, and
Yeah.
talking about all these different the last laugh. You're talking about them, it startles him. You shook him out of his illusion enough to where it shimmered and he went back to a gnomish form. Like all these things are happening. And he's like, I just got back from lunch. Like what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
So it was
Hey,
just
Matt,
him reacting. Yes.
Somebody was asking what type of game we're playing. Jester Welch. Want to give them the elevator pitch real quick?
Sure. We are playing Dungeons & Dragons 5e. This is the Shackled City, I guess, adventure path from an old dungeon magazine. Does that cover everything? We just started. This is episode 5. We're going to get started here in a second. Our Australian friend, it does not change due to daylight savings, so we're kind of just talking, messing around until he gets on. But this is a 5e Dungeons & Dragons game with an old dungeon, adventure path called Shackled City.
There you go.
Is that a good elevator pitch? We're
Think so.
we're in Greyhawk,
City of Cauldron.
City of Cauldron and Greyhawk. It's pretty much all that there is right now, except for the actual story. Right now it's kind of a mystery. They're kind of chasing clues, figuring out what's going on with a couple of abducted orphans.
And then some of the clues are running through the city.
As we don't
were not
speak.
able to catch them. What's that?
Dr. Foe, no, they have not been identified yet. As of episode 4, they had rolled a couple of checks, knowledge checks, arcana, and whatnot, and this thing's pretty rare. They haven't identified it quite yet.
Oh, the invisible thing on the ground.
Yep. I'm assuming that's
Covered
your
in
new
ashes.
invisible attacker. Yes.
Well,
I guess it's the only invisible attacker there
um,
has been.
when, well, I'm just trying to decide how much to ask before Mike gets here. Um, like how many guards came in the door?
There were 4
I'm
total.
trying to four total.
So
Four
like a
guards. Okay.
sergeant and 3 goons. One stayed outside. Actually, the sergeant's the one that really stayed outside. The other 3 went in. One was standing with you, Khaldun, just kind of near you, just you know, being wary and alert. Essentially, what they're waiting for is the watch captain, because somebody was sent off to gather the watch captain. Because
I hope
they
they
don't
bring
know
us
what
our
to do.
money.
You never went back to the
Well, it
station to
happened
pick it up.
yesterday. It literally happened yesterday.
That's true.
So
It's hard to
it's not that
remember.
we had the opportunity
Hello, Casey
because
Michael
I
Davis.
think we went like first thing in the morning to the orphanage to check it out, and then we immediately came here, and it's lunchtime the next day. So it's so we may be making a trip to the guardhouse here in a minute to go pick up our reward.
Okay.
And our handcuffs, our shackles. But right
That
now, I
could be
think
a
the only
problem.
law. Yeah, I think the only law we've broken is destruction of property, and we fixed that, so we're good.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
you've
more
removed
than
all the
that.
evidence. Of course, there is a dead something lumped invisibly on the floor with ashes on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Casey, it's been a good weekend. It's just ending now, but this is a good way to end a weekend, I suppose. Oh, I was going to mess with frame rate, right? Were we talking about that?
Yeah, resolution and frame rate.
Resolution.
Yeah, you could turn your frame rate down to probably 30 frames per second, since we're not doing a lot of action shots.
So I've got it set for 720p 30. Frame rate is 30. Okay, I think I did that last time. So, oh, no, God, are you sure when to cancel? Do not exit. I almost exited freaking Twitch Studio. Blah.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate.
It'd be,
Can I make a
snafu.
recommendation on
No.
these 10-foot square? Okay. On these 10-foot square blocks,
Yes.
when we move on these 10-foot squares, if we will put our tokens in the corners of a
Yes.
square.
That's a good idea. Because I've been looking, a lot of the maps I've noticed are going to be 10-foot squares for the foreseeable future probably until the next author. Because the map makers are usually the same for the entire adventure. So this is going to be something that happens on a frequent basis, 10-foot squares. So yeah, I mean, we'll just have to kind of eyeball it a little bit, but
I mean,
doing a corner will be fine.
you can do something in Roll20 to address it. It's just a little fiddly to drop a grid on there and essentially bisect the squares.
So if you, of course, nobody can see the Twitch stream. If I could put a transparency over the map I have now, you would see a grid, but that grid, no way. It's just there's a lot of fiddly things about Roll20. One of them being if I move one map, all 5 maps that I've got prepared move at the same time. If I zoom in, zoom out, they all move. I checked every source, including Reddit, which usually has all my answers. There's no way to make them individual that I've seen or can figure out.
So there's not like scenes. You can't like set up individual scenes
Well,
with different maps.
there are different maps, different scenes, and the way you do it is you pull this little flag that shows what the characters are seeing, but every single one of those are essentially attached to one grid. So moving it, zooming in and out does the exact same effect on everything you got set up.
So they all have to be the same scale.
Yeah. So
Unfortunate.
it breaks a little bit of the immersion whenever I have to flip from one map to another, but I'll just have to recenter it and it's good to go after that.
Okay. Yeah, as long as we zoom in big enough that we can place ourselves in the corners of the squares, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I've been doing. I've been trying to zoom in as close as possible to the map to give... And also, you can resize your tokens and make them a little smaller if that ever becomes necessary. But right now, the map is a little unnecessary. You're not in combat. You're going to be doing some, fast talking to get yourself out of jail. That kind of thing. You know.
I'm just going to burn the house down.
It's going to be kind of difficult for Farazan. He doesn't talk fast.
Sorry.
Hey,
Hello.
There's a mic in front of his mic. Howdy, man.
a wild Aussie appears.
Mike, fair warning, we are streaming right now.
Oh, I'll put my pants on.
That's not necessary. I haven't worn pants a single episode. We've got the will be streaming soon. Like, we're not got the main screen up, but we're just chit-chatting until you got ready.
Pants back off again then.
Go right ahead. All right, let's flip it over and see what we see.
No Pants Sunday. I told you the story about No Pants Sunday, right?
No, I'm listening though.
Oh. Okay, that's a story for a different day.
Wow,
You have to turn the camera back off. Camera back off.
That's a different kind of stream, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Amazing. All right, so everything
Load all the
is,
things.
everything is where it should be. Yeah.
I see everyone. I even see the icons below Mike.
Work in progress. Thank you.
Yes, work in progress.
Mike, how you been?
Yeah, not too bad.
All right.
But no, that's a lie. I've been sick, but other than that, not too bad.
Yeah. We've had a good 20 minutes to kind of chat and get things rolling.
Cool. Yeah, the wonders of daylight saving is that my side of the world doesn't do it.
Yeah.
You might
Right,
not save any daylight.
No, we have all the daylight, so it's fine.
Yeah, seeing how it's summer.
She has a summer, yeah.
It's a desert.
Has your country ever done any kind of daylight savings, or is it just something you've given up in the past?
No, the other half of the country does daylight savings. So the eastern coast does daylight savings. Well, most of it, not all of it. We had a referendum at some point about introducing daylight savings, and then that got voted down. And then the powers that be said, well, we realized that we gave people the vote, but it was a stupid vote. So then they forced it on us for a year. And then we had another referendum, and then we voted not to have it again because daylight savings is dumb. So
It's just
I
antiquated,
agree.
Like there's no
Wholeheartedly.
need for it anymore.
well, I'm a software guy, and I deal with daytime math a lot. And yeah, daylight savings is one of the worst things imaginable. Time zones suck, let alone changing the clocks within a time zone.
You said daytime math?
Date, time, math.
Daytime math. Yeah.
All right. I mean, I never really took advanced math classes. I didn't know if there's a nighttime math and a daytime math. So I'm
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
legitimate stupid
It's more
question.
like when you get a business requirement, it's just something like, within 3 business days. What does that mean when you're in multiple time zones and one of them has a daylight savings shift and the other one
Yes.
doesn't? It's like
Yes.
it
Calendars
gets hugely
are
complicated and
horrendous.
stupid, and I hate it.
Yes. Calendars are terrible.
And when
Just use
when
UTC.
when Elon Musk gets us all to Mars, then it won't matter which side of the home rock is warmer.
Home rock.
Was that estimated by 2026, right? We're almost there.
Yeah.
All right, we might as well get started. It's 8:55 Eastern Standard Daylight Savings Time.
Pick one.
All the above. So last time, the party had, let's see, it's kind of running together, episode 3 and 4. Episode 4 is basically, you started outside of Gelv's locks.
Mhm.
You walked in, you talked to him, you scared the piss out of him. So much that he shimmered and turned into a gnome. Faison tried to grab him and pet him and squeeze him and call him George. And he squirted right out, as he says, and bolted into the crowd.
He rapid.
As you guys were trying to kind of chase him down, or just at least observe where he went, Khaldun was set upon by an invisible beastie, which y'all vanquished heartily, quickly, fastly, and goodly. Let's see if I can move. My map is acting up
Aggressively.
aggressively.
Adjectively.
killed the creature,
Yes.
and after Farazan had defenestrated himself and come back in, fenestrated, defenestrated, anti-fenestrated, came back in. Farazan, or excuse me, Khaldun repaired everything, repaired the window using his mystical, magical blacksmithing tools, and the guards showed up. Somebody among the crowd had gone to find them, and as you look out, you see a dozen rubberneckers taking selfies and with like etchings and watercolors.
Quick.
As you began to talk to the guards, the sergeant of of this particular watch sent out one of the other guardsmen to go find the watch captain because somebody tripped over an invisible dead body, and he was a little at a loss to figure out what's going on. And that's where we will start today. Any questions about up to now?
Yes.
Reminders? Yeah. What's up?
I have a question.
What's up?
So this is a metagame question. We discussed the ability to craft or commission crafts of items. And usually part of that process is having components, part of a formula or something like that.
Yeah.
So we've run across a mystical, unusual creature. So my question is should it be something that we should be considering harvesting parts of strong or mystical creatures as part of that process? So if Khaldun wanted to make, I don't know, the cloak of invisibility, this creature appears to be permanently invisible. That would sort of fall in line with something that, get the fingernails so that you can make the cloak of invisibility. Or hair to weave into a cloak of invisibility. You get my point.
Yep. So the short answer is yes. Absolutely.
Okay.
And the way it's going to happen is you're going to need a formula for the item. You'll need some sort of material component to create the item. And the closer it is associated to what you're creating, the more value it will have towards the cost of creating that item. And will replace the cost of some of that item. So let's say something costs 500 gold pieces to create. You find a mystical item that's kind of rare that'll cover 200 gold pieces of the cost as part of the creation, that kind of thing. So yeah, be on the lookout for things like that. I'll remind you sometimes if something looks particularly useful. Generally, I'll have an idea of what I'll want to use it for, but if you can logically convince me why it might be good for something else, I'm sure that would work fine. I mean, nothing's locked in. Like, you don't have to have like a troll scrotum in order to have a ring of regeneration. It's not specific. You could definitely use a testicle if you like, but trolls. A fingernail will work. Yeah, gonna castrate every troll in the known region. But we're gonna incorporate crafting items.
Auditions are open for Farazan.
Jamie switched to a new career in castrating trolls. It's far more lucrative.
You gotta have a day job, man.
Looking for a new path.
You have to find some way to pay that nightly rent and pay for the food. You're a big dude. You eat a lot of super.
A lot of super. Oh man. Okay, so skinning the invisible thing apparently is on the to-do list. We should probably, since we've got like a dozen people on, make sure everybody knows who's playing who.
Hey, good idea. I'm Matt. I'm the DM.
He's not playing anyone.
No, I'm playing everyone.
He's playing everyone but us.
Everyone else.
Khaldun.
I am Heath. I'm playing Khaldun, a Githyanki Abjurer.
Tarathiel.
I am Minecam playing Tarathiel, the Elven Rogue.
Farazan.
I am Jamie, and I am playing Farazan. He is a Goliath fighter.
Oh, there we go.
He is the Brute Squad.
Now everyone introduce you back up as this party gets arrested.
Good question. Do y'all have backups made already?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Mine is Khalduna, and it looks a lot like Khaldun.
Carl Dune.
I'm just going to play Tarathiel's missing little finger.
Just call you Pinky.
Switch to the... Yeah.
Just wait till I get cloned. They will have all kinds of fun.
You're not going to
There's
make
a
it.
clone spell.
So the
Not gonna
place,
make it.
the characters are sitting in Gelv's locks. There are several guards in here, standing by, keeping an eye on you. Not openly threatening. Don't have weapons drawn. The
Good.
sergeant is in the main room with the chairs, just kind of pacing slowly, waiting for the guard captain, the captain of the watch, to show up. And
Okay.
a good half an hour later, you figure it took time for the guard to go find the captain, convince him a reason to come by, and then bring him to this area. The guard that left comes in with kind of an older man, older as in mid to late 50s, grayish hair. He is not dressed in the uniform of a guardsman. He's not in armor. He's not gun weapons. He's actually dressed in somewhat of finery, like weekday business casual kind of thought. He walks in with the other guardsmen and looks to the sergeant. Sergeant, I was having dinner with the Lord Mayor, and I was told this is important. Please report. And the sergeant kind of gets this look of nervousness in his eyes, like he's set before the captain. He's got to talk to the captain. Well, Captain, we had a report of some sort of altercation inside of this premises. We came in. Gelv wasn't here, and one of the other guards tripped over an invisible body that appears to be dead. I'm sorry, I didn't know what to do. I didn't mean to bother you, but you're the day captain, day watch captain. Watch captain looks at the sergeant. You realize you're going to have to learn to deal with these kind of problems on your own if you ever want to get promoted. We've talked about this before. Show me what you have. The captain walks around and pushes the curtains aside to the back, looks over at the body, the dust covering, the ash covering the naked, but the invisible body.
Naked.
He was naked, actually. He had no clothing on. He walks over, kicks the body. This doesn't look normal. The sergeant.
Genius level sergeant.
No, sir.
Whoa.
We don't feel like this is a normal creature. Gelv is nowhere to be seen. They said that he left and ran into the crowd, scared of these three gentlemen. He looks up at Farazan, as everybody does. Captain looks around. Are there any dead citizens? No, sir, there's not. Are there any wounded citizens? No, not that we've seen. Have these people committed a crime that you've seen personally or have report of? No, sir. No, they haven't. Does this look like a supernatural creature to you? Yes, sir. And he's starting to, shrivel. You can see his shoulders crawling. Yes, sir.
We're adventurers.
Exactly. Captain looks at the sergeant. What do we normally do with supernatural things? We call the churches. We find adventurers. He looks at Farazan, looks at Khaldun. I am not a smart man, but these do not appear to be standard citizens of Cauldron. Are these adventurers? Yes, Captain. Am I done here? Yes, Captain. Captain turns and walks out the front door. Sergeant looks to the three of you. Can you help me figure out what this is? And he just steps back. Please tell me what's going on.
I will be happy to take a look at it.
So you did try to identify it last time I recorded. You rolled Knowledge Arcana. Wasn't quite enough. You actually rolled fairly well, if I remember correctly. It's just that this is a very kind of unique, rare creature. You have no idea what this could be.
Okay. Well, I'm still going to at least go through the motions of it because I asked nicely. And in the process, I'm going to harvest what I think would be useful.
Okay. So now that you're down and you're getting the time, you're allowed the time to physically examine, and you're having to go by touch. This thing is still invisible. It's a very featureless, hairless humanoid, but both of the hands end in extended 3 to 4 inch long claws. That's the only thing besides, obviously invisibility and just the lack of shape that you see that makes this thing more of a non-humanoid. These long claws.
Does it feel solid, just invisible? It's not incorporeal.
Not
It's
incorporeal.
not like
No,
semi-incorporeal.
it is.
It's obviously not incorporeal. But
Yeah.
it is solid.
It
it's
is
just
solid.
transparent.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's going to take you, and you were looking to probably take the nails, some sort of clipping. You're talking about doing that for...
whatever my arcanic knowledge says is the right thing to do.
Probably the fingernails, the fingers, the claws. Be the simplest,
Okay.
easiest, and most effective.
Got it.
So, Khaldun, that's going to take you a few minutes. Farazan, Tarathiel,
Okay.
what is your plan during this time? Invisibility land. Nice.
So I guess Tarathiel was prepared to show off the writ that we have from the church, but it seems like that's not necessary anymore. So he'll try and kind of corner the sergeant and say, we had reason to believe that there was a problem with the locks at the orphanage, and so we came to ask Gelv about it, but he turned into a gnome and ran away.
Gelv turned into a gnome. That sounds strange.
And also a cat just walked by.
It does that.
I hear the conversation and I look up at the two of them and I go, well, is he a sergeant? Is this guy the sergeant?
You're speaking to the sergeant, yes.
Okay. I look at Sergeant and I say, Sergeant, it goes something like this. And I cast Disguise Self. And I turn myself into Gelv.
Huh. Well,
And then I shake it off.
the Gelv family has been running this establishment for years, 20, 30 years. His father ran the store before he did. Now he's running the store now since his father passed. We've always known them as humans. This is well, apparently it is my pay grade, and the captain doesn't want me to talk to him about it. So, all right, this is unusual. I will definitely add this to the report that maybe this is Keegan Gelv. Maybe it's an imposter. All right. What else? You're here because of the orphans. You confronted him, and he ran away.
That's
All
about the
true.
size of it. And then whatever that thing was attacked us.
Where did that come from?
I think the top of the stairs, the more I think about the situation, it's possible that this thing was watching Gelv. It's possible Gelv may be innocent if he knew that he had sort of a watcher or something, making sure that he was behaving a certain way.
When a mummy
But
invisible
it seems to have
monstrosity.
leaped down from the top of the stairs.
Interesting. All right. What do you think I should do? Says the sergeant. Do you need my assistance?
Could you help us find Gelv?
Yes. Yes. Excellent idea. He turns.
I could do with a cup of coffee.
And a bowl of cereal.
And a
Just a
million.
bowl. I have the cereal.
So he looks at you and he looks at some of the other guards. Go find this gnome. Go find Gelv. I guess we're going to either look for the human Gelv or the gnomish Gelv. Really, any gnome will stick out. I'm sure they all know each other in this town. I'm going to go back.
Sure.
What's that?
It's a little racist, but sure.
This whole town has a very racist feeling to it. I mean, you are 3 of maybe 20 that are non-human in this entire 5,000 person city. So, yeah, that's a little bit of a racial overture here. He does send the other 3 guards out. Oh, they're all 3 back. Sends all 3 guards out. Contact other guards. Spread the word. We're looking for APB on this gnome or Gelv or whatever we can do. Find him. Track him down. We need to find out what's going on here. The 3 guards salute and head out the door. Sergeant
Farazan will stop them and just give him a quick close description. So he was about this tall, and all that sort of thing.
Very
Eye color.
gnomey.
Yeah.
Can
eye
Farazan
color.
do that with one hand? It's
Yeah.
this tall.
it's this tall.
This tall.
His nose was about this long, that sort of thing.
Okay, great. And they're scribbling down big nose, short. All right. And they all 3 head out. Sergeant says, I am going to go back to headquarters. I'm going to make a report. Please, if you gather any more information, let us know. Contact a church about this creature? I don't know. Watch Captain Markham. This has never happened before. I've never dealt with anything but just riffraff, and murder here, kidnapping there is the worst I've ever seen. So, please report if you find out something.
Farazan will ask.
Connors.
Sorry. Farazan will ask the sergeant. He says, "You said contact a church to help us identifying this creature. Yes.
Church would help with identification, but we rely
Are
on
there
churches for weird things like this. I mean, this isn't your run-of-the-mill just robbery. This isn't just one guy mugged another. This is a invisible thing. We don't deal with this stuff. We deal with just the regular, easy stuff. We leave that up to you, your venture types, and the churches, and the mystical, powerful. Maybe even go talk to the people. One of the headmasters of the academy. They may be able to help you out.
Where can we
this
find this
creature
academy?
Medium or small?
The academy is actually literally right next door, and
It's next door.
And the invisible creature is medium.
Okay.
Small side of medium, but it is technically a medium creature. Probably 5 feet tall. Maybe 4.
Typically served rare, but this one's medium.
Yes.
All right, well, I'll grab it and throw it over my shoulder.
Okay. What's your strength? I mean, it's not
14.
Oh yeah, no problem. You got it hefted up. You look like you're miming carrying something because it's invisible on your shoulder. There is no blood. Has left nothing behind. Nobody actually took damage. So every time you got hit, your shield absorbed it. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So there's no real indication anymore that anything happened here, except for maybe that part of the carpet's a little scuffled, but you fix the window. There's no blood remaining. Looks like nothing really ever happened here.
You didn't see anything.
I don't like the way he's pointing that out, to be honest.
Just
That
setting
makes
the
me
scene.
nervous. Uh-huh.
So the guards just left us in Gelbs all alone in this
Yes.
whole building,
Yes.
and Tarathiel isn't casing the whole place.
Well, Tarathiel hasn't had a chance yet. But they did.
I mean, not with the cop standing right here.
They have. He sent the 3 guards out first, and after just kind of asking you to let him know what's going on, because there is nothing that falls, quote, under the jurisdiction of the city guard going on right here. Like, nothing's happened. Nothing's missing. Nobody's hurt, killed, murdered. The only thing that's here is this invisible blob of dead creature, and he wants nothing to do with it. It's obvious. He's just, I ain't writing I'm too old for this shit. I ain't writing this report, that kind of thing. You know, he was basically given pass by his watch captain to pass it off, and that is exactly what he's done.
Fair enough.
Okay.
All right. Have a good day, Sergeant.
Thank you. And he salutes, nods, and turns around and
Hut, 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 hut.
Like does one of those quick walks. Like he wants to get the hell out of there, but he doesn't really want to be running.
Okay. He's
Running
got
from the
somewhere to
knees
be.
down.
Right. So Farazan, once he leaves, he looks at Khaldun and says, "Do you want assistance at the academy?"
Yes. The more descriptions, the better, I think, if people start asking questions. However, I think, and Khaldun looks around, this is our opportunity to get more information while we're here.
Then let us do so, and then we can go next door. And Farazan will start redecorating.
What does that mean?
I mean,
Changing the window dressings. You know.
Swaps the red carpets, drapes out for the black ones.
he's painting the walls. Yeah. No. I mean,
I have a. Go ahead.
Go ahead. He starts going through everything. The counter, what's under the counter, flipping over the chairs. I mean, he's not a creature of subtlety.
Okay.
So,
Now we're committing crimes. Cool.
So in the storefront, I described that there's the two chairs. There's the furnace. That's not the word I'm looking for. The fireplace.
Fireplace.
The door to the north is closed and locked. Behind the counter, there is a small mahogany strongbox that is closed and locked as well. You've already been upstairs. You found two other doors that were both closed and locked. And all these locks look fresh, new, and clean.
And superior.
They are very well made.
I have a question. When it comes to assisting people in skill checks, like for instance, if I wanted to assist Tarathiel, do I need proficiency in thieves' tools?
It's going to come down to what the assistance is, what you're assisting. Some things it's just how do you assist with that.
Okay.
Some things you wouldn't be able to assist unless you had proficiency. So it will be kind of a case-by-case thing to ask if you're going to assist to pick a lock with using his thieves' tools would be very hard for you to assist with or without proficiency. Unless you can come up with a good explanation, like I've opened this lock before, this is how, tried this, up, down, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how that you could assist with picking a lock.
he could hold the light.
You could hold the light in your teeth.
So the only thing I have would be something like Mage Hand that can do something a normal hand can't.
Okay. Do you have proficiency in?
I do not.
Okay. In this particular case, for these locks, it would be very difficult for you to assist him picking them.
Okay.
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 Yeah. Do any of the locks look like they would be easier to pick than any of the others, or are they all of equal difficulty?
All three of the locks in this place to other rooms are of equal difficulty. They look exactly the same.
Okay. And the strongbox?
Strongbox, it's actually a smaller lock. It's a tiny padlock. Probably easier.
Okay. I'm
I
trying to
have a key
figure
for
out.
that one.
I'm trying to figure out how I managed to get this to roll the thieves' tools last time, but I can't figure that out. So you can ignore that. I'm going to attempt to unlock the lockbox once we're on our own.
Okay, guards are gone. You're on your own. So give me
Okay.
a thieves' tools check, dexterity check.
Dexterity plus proficiency, right? Because I'm proficient with thieves' tools.
Yes.
17.
Not quite enough.
Not quite enough.
These are some tough locks. He must be a locksmith.
It's like he does this for a living.
Family tradition or something.
Runs in the family.
Nah, I'm not able to get him.
So,
Right.
In order to avoid just like trying things over and over and over and over again, there is no penalty for failing these checks. Like if you rolled a natural 1 on picking a lock, there would be no negative effect. So what I'm saying is you wouldn't break a pick. Sometimes you might. Some locks have that built in to where if you fail by 5, you break your lock or your pick.
Yeah.
There's no penalty for failure. So basically what I'm going to say is you can spend a lot of time and you will eventually unlock everything in this place.
Mhm.
So starting, the first initial roll is just to see if you just like pop it open. You're working on this strong box. You don't get it initially, but after about 10 minutes of working with it, you do eventually get it opened.
Some
Excellent.
creative elven swearing.
Yeah.
Sounds very musical.
So during this time, Tarathiel is fiddling, probably sitting in one of those chairs in front of the fire, lockbox in lap, trying to pop on these locks, cursing in Elvish. Khaldun Farazan, is there anything you want to do in the meantime?
Farazan's going to walk over and pull the blanket off of the obviously trapped bookcase.
Okay. You walk over there, you pull the blanket off, and behind the blanket is...
I just tried to move my token on the stream.
Did it work?
Sorry.
Yeah, I've also attempted to do that already today.
Sorry.
Go pull the blanket, and behind the blanket is effectively what we know as a grandfather clock. It is active. It's ticking.
Oh,
And
cool.
behind the face of the grandfather clock is kind of a mirrored bas relief of a gnomish face. It's not the face of the gnome that you saw that squirtled out of your grip, but has a very familial resemblance, probably his father, grandfather.
I mean, it is a grandfather clock after all.
It is a grandfather clock, so more than likely it's his mother.
So it's a mother clock.
But yes, you find this behind this blanket that's been thrown over the clock.
Okay. Any check for hidden sorts of things? Kind of tap on it as gently as a Goliath can.
All right.
Maybe slide it to the side.
Give me a perception.
Crash.
Yeah, crash. Sorry about your mother clock. A 15 perception.
You don't notice anything out of the ordinary, nor find anything additional.
Okay.
It's not trapped.
Okay. He will turn over his shoulder and says, "There is nothing of interest here."
Khaldun?
So is there anything here, ledgers, like business ledgers, any sort of documentation, nothing like that in this entire floor?
Not on this floor. Not that you've seen.
Okay.
Man, locksmith shop.
Trying to pick
Do I
locks in a locksmith.
have to be able, if I summon my familiar, do I have to be able to see where I summon it? I don't think I do.
You mean like summon it behind a door kind of thing, a locked door?
Yes.
Why don't you take a look at the spell
Give me
and
just a
talk
second.
to me?
I'm looking at the spell right now.
Give that a good read and see what
As an
that
action,
says.
you can cause it to Okay, all right. So I'm just going to read the text.
Okay.
As an action, you can temporarily dismiss your familiar, which I've done. It disappears into a pocket dimension where it awaits your summons. Alternatively, you can dismiss it forever, which I have not done. As an action, while it's temporarily dismissed, you can cause it to repair in any unoccupied space within 30 feet of you.
Okay. And it does not say anything about line of sight or
It does not.
previous knowledge. In that case, we'll go by rules as written. Yeah, you can absolutely pop it behind the door.
Okay. So I will start with the door with the red dot on the first floor.
Okay.
And go ahead.
What kind of communication do you have with your...
Telepathic.
So telepathic as in you speak to it, you can understand it, it can report back at level 2? Of course, I'm maybe thinking old editions. It may be completely different now. You can actually see and hear through its eyes at this point.
Yes, I can use its senses,
Okay.
and I can communicate it telepathically. It doesn't know a language, but I can command it to do things, and I mean, it knows what I'm saying.
But you can, at bare minimum, look through its eyes and
Yes.
see what's in that room, and you will
Yes, I can
understand
use
what
its
that
senses.
is. Okay. So you're going to
Yes.
start at the room that is on the first floor that's behind that dot. I don't know why there's a red dot there, to be completely honest. But
There's a little sign that says "Go here first."
yeah.
Yeah.
So Pazel
Yes.
appears behind the door, and it appears to be a workroom. There's a large bench it's cluttered with tiny tools, gears, mechanisms. Over the corner, there's a series of baskets with raw ore, coal, springs, keys, just everything that you could imagine that would be necessary to create locks for one thing, but also to create other things as well. Like you imagine a gnome that likes to tinker. And as much as the front room, the storefront, and the display area, the two that you've already been in, are immaculate and just absolutely perfectly everything in its place, this room is a mess. This is like where an artist goes to work and just looks like, some sort of robot blew up in here.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a question in the chat
room
asking,
messes.
What's
what
that?
does Puzzle look like?
Oh yeah, describe Pazel.
Pazel is an owl. Pazel is an owl.
What kind of owl? White, black, green?
Screech.
Screech, hoot?
So this is a really, really good question. Pazel so Khaldun is from the astral plane, and their owls are not normal owls. So he's sort of a light gray, but he doesn't look like, if you saw this owl, you would not like, oh look, a barn owl. No, it's going to be, it looks like a creature from the astral plane. So I'm going to say it looks kind of similar. It's sort of, it's an astral owl. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So Pazel is in the room and just kind of either kind of roosting on the table or just kind of flying around.
Sure. She's sitting on the table looking around. She has dark vision.
Okay. It is dark.
Okay. All right, workroom. So I will temporarily dismiss her into the pocket dimension and go up the stairs.
All right. Trathiel, you're still tinkering with the lock. It's going to take a few more minutes. Farazan, you've pulled this cloak, this blanket off of the grandfather clock. Anything else you want to do?
The chests, do they have padlocks or do they have integrated locks?
These 3 chests all have integrated locks. This is the sales room to sell these kind of chests, for sure.
Right. Okay. So he will go upstairs and try to pick the lock with his boot.
Which one?
The first one that he comes to.
Door on the right. All right. Go upstairs.
The first one that's locked.
Give me a boot check.
I don't keep this information private, by the way. I let them know this is a workshop.
Yep. Excellent. And I'm sorry, did your familiar search the workshop, or did they just kind of swoop around and pop back into the other side?
Right now, I'm just getting an idea what's in there.
Okay. Just hunting and a pecking. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So boot check.
Boot check.
Strength?
So there's no... You're trying to bash the door open, yes?
Yeah. Kick the door down, loot the room.
Give me an athletics check, strength check.
Athletics, strength check. I can do that. That is going to be one of these, actually. Same numbers. 17 on that check.
Trathiel and Khaldun, you hear a thunderous smash against the door upstairs. Farazan, the door gives way slightly, but not quite. You feel like a couple more kicks and this thing's going down.
All right.
I'm going to sit in a chair.
Pick the lock with my foot.
Yes. Well, yes, his lock picks are integrated into his boots.
You're like Iron Man.
Yeah.
All right.
My backup character is an artificer. But yeah, I mean, a couple more rolls.
Yeah, give me one more roll. After that,
One more roll.
Oh,
24.
Yeah. Door,
That'll do it.
you hear another thunderous kick, and the door slams open. Let me present to you a locksmith's bedroom.
Dang it.
You can't quite see
Do,
that.
do, 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 do.
I see a footlocker.
You do. So this is definitely his. You definitely kicked open his bedroom. Inside is a small bed, a gnomish size bed. There are two chests of drawers and a chest at the foot of the bed.
Okay. Anything that is not locked, he will investigate. And he will also call down and say, this one is now open.
All right. So the two chests against the two chests of drawers against the walls. One is locked. There's one locking mechanism. Think of it sort of like a filing cabinet. How there's one lock that unlocks the entire thing at the very top. The other one is not locked and is just full of gnomish sized clothing.
Okay. He will. Let's see. Where is Tarathriel? Yeah, he'll kind of lean back over the banister there and say, Tarathriel, I will need you for the rest of these.
Oh, the chest at the end of the bed is also unlocked and has additional clothing. Nothing in there as well, or either, whichever one it was.
Right. Yeah. Tarathiel will put.
So about
Put-
this time,
put down
Tarathiel,
the-
you
the
pop the
box.
lock.
All right.
It's-
Just at that moment.
Yeah, it's perfect timing. It's like you hear the second thunderous kick, and like immediately, it was just the bump you needed to get the lock open.
Teamwork.
Makes the dream work. Or makes the stream work. Haha.
Oh God,
I'll be here all night.
fabulous!
By the way, I did a Google search for swearing in Elvish, and I found results, because of course I did.
I'm gonna integrate those into your character soon.
Yep.
It's excellent.
What do I find? What is in this box?
In the box,
Elven swear words.
it is full of loose coins, copper, silver, and gold.
I'm rich. I'm rich.
I feel like this is probably obviously the strong box for the building for giving, making change whenever he makes a sale.
Mm-hmm.
You can count it now or go up and assist booting through doors. Khaldun, you are definitely shocked in your your owl eyes and ears hearing this from above, because you as Khaldun are deaf and dumb as the owl is doing its thing. So
Yes.
In that case, then, yeah, I'm going to pocket a handful of coins and then head upstairs.
okay, what do you do with the lockbox?
I'll leave it on the counter.
So you grab a handful. We'll figure that out here in a little bit. Head upstairs, join Farazan and his unlocking of the door. Khaldun?
I dismiss Pazel temporarily. I'll go up the stairs. And as I pass by the door, I just look at it and go, how mundane.
No,
And walk over here and do the same thing.
Okay.
You mispronounced mending.
I'm going to be doing that here in a second.
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to take you just a second. So, Tarathiel, you
Okay.
are upstairs in there with Farazan examining this room. The only thing that you found that stands out is there is a locked chest of drawers against the eastern wall. Everything else is unlocked. Give me a perception check.
Perception
Both of you.
check.
Both of you can.
23. Natural 20.
Natural 20 and a
Nice.
17. So this room, you can tell, has only been entered or exit or moved around by a small humanoid, like a gnomish
Okay.
side. Never been
It's difficult
inside.
to fit in here.
What's that?
It's difficult to fit in here.
Yes, and it is, like I said, it's a gnomish sized bed. So it seems obvious to you that only whoever this person is, this Gelv, has come in and gone from this room in a very long
Okay.
time, at least that you can detect. And you're standing in front of this locked chest of drawers. I'm assuming you're wanting to attempt to fix that problem. So let's start with just an immediate roll. And as you're doing that, Pazel pops into a room. And this room appears to be basically a kitchen pantry.
Okay.
There is the fireplace on the far wall that coincides with the one below. There are foodstuffs. The central table is for preparing his meals, and there appears to be a small hourglass that's empty right now, but sitting as well on the central, empty as in like it's flipped and all the sand's on the bottom. Maybe a timing mechanism for some sort of cooking.
Cooking.
Yeah.
Okay. Is the door in the corner open or closed?
It's open, and that is definitely the pantry with food stuff.
Okay. Okay.
There is a
All
window
right.
if you want to jump out.
You may defenestrate it at will. Just smack your bird against
All
it.
right.
So I rolled a 4 for a 9.
That is just high. No, that doesn't work at all.
You've now been kicked out of the locksmithing guild.
So, like I said, again, we're at that point where you failed the first check, which just means you don't immediately open it. You can spend time to unlock this chest of drawers.
There'll
will
be
just-
more orphans dead when we find them now.
Probably. This is a complex lock. You think, in game terms, basically, if we were playing in 3.5 or Pathfinder, you would basically take 20 to open this thing, and that's exactly
Yeah.
what you would have to roll to get it open.
Right.
So this is going to take you a good 15, 20 minutes to fiddle and open this lock. Just kind of looking ahead a little bit. So you may not
Yep.
finish it, but you're going to have to essentially take 20.
Yep. Working on it.
So Farazan, you see Thrathiel over there, got his picks out, something in Elvish that doesn't sound like it should be said among children or wives, and he just continues to work.
Right.
Khaldun, I'm assuming you take Pazel back.
Yes, I bring her back. I will go up to here. I will cast mending on the door to repair it.
Okay. It is mended.
And
Please,
so
please tell me it gets mended with the lock still intact, so now we're locked in here. And
So
to kick it down again.
No. The door's open.
you do, as you spend time casting the mending spell, realize that this is key locked from inside and out. If you shut the door, it will relock. So
Oh, dang.
you
no, I'm not going to shut the door. I'm
Right.
just fixing it.
right. So you have to make a point of just keeping it open and not relatching it because it will automatically lock.
Yeah. So Khaldun's thought process is this: if it turns out that Mr. Gelv is in fact innocent, we don't want to have destroyed his house
Right.
if we need his help.
Exactly.
All right. And so after I fix the damage, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to take a second look at this corner
So have you
to
been,
see if
have
there's
you been
anything strange.
hefting around this invisible dead body this entire time?
No. Yes.
Oh,
of course.
crap.
No.
Okay.
No. I laid it down like on that chest right there. Just
Okay.
get it out of the way.
All right.
Oh, you could have put it on one of the chairs so that when somebody tries to sit down, they just sit down.
How awkward. This is not at all what I expected from today's.
Yes. I'm being hugged.
Oh God, has rigor mortis set in? Fair's on.
No, it
What
was
are you
like that
doing?
when we found it.
Sorry.
What you doing while Tarathiel is active?
He will step out of the door and back to the hallway here and ask Khaldun if he needs to open the door. Second door.
If you're hungry, it's a kitchen.
Sharpening his boot.
Yes. Engage food.
He says, Khaldun described the workshop, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And he asks, do we need to get inside?
I didn't see anything, but I couldn't get a really, really good look. It just looks like a workshop where he would be making the locks.
Okay. Then we should at least have a look around. And he will go pick the lock on the bottom door, or on the northern door in the bottom floor.
Foot style?
Mhm.
All right. Go ahead and give me your first check. Tarathiel, you hear the telltale sign of Farazan also attempting to pick locks. And
Just winces.
24.
Dang.
24. First
Oh.
kick, it flies off the hinges, slams into the table behind it, knocking a couple of gears and tools into the floor. It is open.
Sigh.
He says, well, I don't know what he would say. Okay, but yeah, he will
Knock,
go in and start
knock.
looking around. Yeah.
Here is Farazan.
Got to start doing some Arnold one-liners, sticking a hound.
What does the the Kool-Aid man? What does he say when he comes into the room?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, he goes in and starts looking around.
Well, it's a good thing you have a mystical carpenter that runs around with you everywhere you go that can repair these wooden doors with a wiggle of his fingers.
I mean, he's not from around here, so until someone tells him it's not polite to kick a door down.
Yeah, nobody's objected to it yet. Khaldun, you are doing an investigation. Give me a perception.
Okay. So, question. Hazel has perception, and she actually has advantage on checks that rely on hearing and sight.
Okay.
Excellent.
So, I would like to use her to do the check. Is that reasonable?
Is it specific to like darkness with the advantage to
No.
hearing and sight?
No,
Okay.
the owl has advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on hearing or sight.
No, it's not unreasonable at all. It actually makes sense. So
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll summon her and just have her assist me.
you're going to assist her, it sounds like.
I'm going to assist her. Yes, actually, she's better than I am.
Okay. Give me a perception with advantage.
Okay. Yes.
Does Bazel sit on your shoulder or just like perched on the top of your head, or what is
In
it?
this particular case, it's going to be, oh, look at that, 21.
Oh.
On my shoulder.
Okay.
Okay. So it's not that Pazel notices anything specific with the grandfather clock or the mirrored image of the old gnome, but it's something about an echo, and she lifts off of your shoulder and flies around the room, stops, I don't know, hovers, perches at the area directly at the base
Under the
of
stairs.
under the stairs.
Okay. I will go and investigate.
Okay, so her role is the one that did it, but you go over and pay attention to what she has found, and you find a very well hidden outline of a door.
Okay.
Very smooth into the side of this stairwell.
All right. Companion, I found a hidden door.
Come unlock it, Farazan.
Is it? Can I determine the opening mechanism?
Yes, it's a little slide hatch, maybe an inch wide. You pull in, finger latch it, and it'll pop the door open. You figure.
All right.
I'm assuming
I
you
will
haven't done
wait.
this.
I have not.
Okay.
I have not. I'm going to wait for everybody else to come
All
down.
right. So,
What's the fun in that?
Farazan, if you're just going to look around,
Mhm.
waiting for Tarathiel to finish unlocking this lock. Is that...
Mhm.
Anybody want to do anything else in the meantime? This is going to be a 20-minute wait.
It's not like I'm going to be any better at picking this one. So
Okay, so time passes. Tarathiel is working with this lock. However, in the time that he is doing that, there is a knock at the door, the front door of Gelv's locks. A knock that quickly turns into someone walking in the front door. You hear the dinging in the background, and the door closes behind. And you hear a kind of a familiar voice just ask out into the void, "Hello?" And you recognize
Familiar?
a familiar. You recognize it as Rufus's voice. Rufus, the priest from St. Cuthbert's Church.
Oh, okay. Didn't realize
Farazan,
we were making that much noise.
across town.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. Goliath foot through a
Earthquake.
very heavy wooden door. Guys?
So yeah, Farazan will walk over to the doorway and say, "Are we still mourning? Are we still mourning?"
Oh yeah, it's since the guards left, it's not even been an hour, so it's
Okay.
maybe pushing 2:00.
Okay. He says, "Good afternoon, Rufus."
Hi. So Jinya.
Draw. He drew a sword.
Jinya sent me down here. Gelv is at our church, and he's terrified.
Oops.
He's not sure what to think, but can you guys come talk to him and explain to him what's going on? We tried to set him at ease, but apparently one of you is working for the last laugh. He's sworn it, and he's afraid that his life is on the line.
Okay. Farazan asks, "Was Gelv a gnome or a human?"
He's a gnome. I had no idea. He explained to us that he and his family have hidden their presence as gnomes in the city for generations because, well, it's a human city and they felt like their business would be better off being human businessmen.
Why is that?
Just perceptions. Humans selling to humans. They were afraid of racial conflict, things like that. Just better for business. He doesn't think that he would be in danger. Just they felt like it'd be better for business. I mean, no other reason than that.
He says, "I do not understand. He is a good locksmith. My companion has had trouble bypassing his work,
You enjoy that bus? How's it
but
look
he
in
Got it.
seems competent."
I got it. No, I don't got it.
Shaitan plus 9. I think that was more German.
Yeah.
Elvis
That's
German.
not musical at all.
Elvis German, yeah.
Elvis German.
During, I'm listening to this conversation, and after, they've kind of got to that point, I will step through the curtain, walk around,
Ah,
and extend my hand to shake Rufus's hand. It's really, really good to see you.
You as well. He
Does he
extends his
shake
hand.
my
Yeah,
hand?
he extends his hand and shakes hands with you.
All right. He does not change appearance.
No. This is
Okay.
Rufus for all that you can tell.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, there's a problem. Maybe you can help us solve it. We have a body, and it's very unusual. You think you can take a look at it?
Well, from my understanding, I can't. And he chuckles at his own humor.
How did you know?
Gelf?
Did he see the invisible attacker?
No, but he knew that it was there.
By definition, no.
By definition, I can't. But he did tell us about it.
Did he tell you what it was?
Oh, he doesn't know. He doesn't have a name for it. He just calls it the Invisible Watcher.
Watcher. Do you think you might be able to identify it if you were to poke it with a stick?
I'm happy to try.
Okay. I bring him around and show him to it.
And he kneels down beside the body and he feels on it, pushes on it, lifts it, grabs the fingers, and notices the clipped fingernails. And by the way, those fingernails did not appear after you clipped them off. They remained invisible.
Excellent.
He attempts to identify the creature.
All right. While he's doing that, I'm going to go over here and repair that door.
Attempt being the key word. So as he's kneeling beside the couch, looking over the body, in the time that it takes you to finish repairing the door, and Tarathiel, you actually get the lock undone.
Hooray!
Rufus stands up. I'm sorry, I have no idea. I've never,
Okay.
quote, seen anything like this before, or heard of anything like this before.
Ha 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 ha. Okay.
It's obvious he's trying not to be funny now.
Yes. Well, thank you for the attempt. I couldn't identify it either.
Jinya, I suggest talking to Jinya. If anybody I know could identify that, it would be her.
All right. Well, we'll when we go to the church here in a few minutes, we'll take the body with us, and maybe she can let us know what it is.
Okay. Farazan, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So when he walks in, he kind of trails Rufus into the other room just to kind of, keep an eye on everything. Since there are shapeshifters about, he calls up to Tarathiel and basically just asks him to bring a blanket or something we could wrap the body in so that we can, not look like additional weirdos walking, miming, carrying things.
Carrying an invisible carpet around town.
Throw a blanket down.
Yeah, so you
I don't know, I'm
hear the booming
I'm trying
voice.
to envision this. Go ahead.
Just Tarathiel, you hear the booming voice saying that.
Wince again, immediately pop open the lock. This is going to be how it works every single time. So every time Farazan makes me jump, that's when I'm going to get the lock.
Right?
He's helping you.
Yeah, exactly.
He's assisting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to imagine whether carrying a body-shaped thing wrapped in a carpet is more or less weird than walking around like this.
Well, if you're all
kinda
doing it,
thinking
maybe
this is less
starting
weird.
like a fad. Like this is how we walk through town now,
Pretend to be a cult.
Yes.
Starting up the Ministry of Silly Walks.
Yeah.
We
are the big C.
handshakes too.
All right. What do I find in this final thing? And then I'll grab a blanket and head downstairs.
All right, you pull open the top drawer.
Gnomish underwear.
What's that?
Gnomish underwear.
No, in this one you find spools of thread, ink, parchment, quills, a wooden comb. So just various knickknacks and the ability to take notes and write and things like that. Pull the second drawer. Inside you see just sheafs and sheafs of paper, handwritten notes on lock designs. Various different lock designs, key designs, 1, 2, 3, 4 mechanism locks, like just highly complex lock designs in here. However, you dig through them, and buried at the very bottom is what's obviously a leathery hide kind of. I want to use the word vellum, but basically it's a hide that's been used as a piece of paper. There's been a map that's been kind of burnt into one side of it at the very bottom, rolled up under the papers with the lock designs.
And it's not a map of something I immediately recognize. It's not like a map of Cauldron.
It is not a map of Cauldron. In fact, the map
Oh, scene change.
looks like this. It's off center. Damn it. This.
It looks centered to me.
Ooh.
Interesting.
And you see the neat little chairs because it's leather. That's
Yeah,
that's production value.
That's very cool.
Well, shiny. It's worth every penny we paid for it.
Yeah, that's right.
I hate it.
So
All right,
you have access
I'm
to
gonna
that map. I will.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll it up and stick it in my top pocket somewhere, and grab the blanket off of the bed and come downstairs.
Okay. There's a bottom drawer. You've been through the top middle.
Ooh! If there's a third drawer,
There's a third drawer.
that's where all the good stuff is always. I mean, there's a window I can throw it out of.
Yeah, if it catches on fire, that's the best place to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So you go and pull the third drawer open.
Boom.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the roll a dexterity saving throw.
Well, it's not. It's a melee attack. 2 scythe blades come out of the floor
Perfect.
and attempt to dismembowel, defenestrate you.
That's
If I lose more fingers, I'm going to be annoyed.
If it's a crit, all right, I'm going to tell you right now. If it's a crit, you lose a finger. Oh,
holy shit.
Oh, gosh.
Sorry.
I thought he was joking about the whole melee attack thing.
no, it is.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Wow. I mean,
Pick one.
it's a natural 20. Holy crap. So I hate when that kind of thing happens. It's like betting on 00 roulette and then, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not going to have any true effect, but man, you can look like you pissed off the last laugh twice now.
Let's hit the other hand.
It's going to get harder and harder to use my mouse when I'm in character now.
Problem is it's a critical hit.
Mm-hmm.
So it does double damage.
Uh-oh.
And we're going to roll it on roll 20.
Do we have a
8.
crit card?
No,
Crit card?
we're not there. I don't know. I'm probably not going to do crits like that.
Max damage on a crit.
A total of 13 points of damage from this critical. So were rolling up this map and still kind of interested in that. Not even paying attention. You pull the last drawer out, and it just comes up and lops off the second finger on your dominant hand. And now we can call you Trey. But
Take that, Frodo. I'm the 8-fingered.
the sides come up, cut through your hand, and back into the floor, and the drawer is open.
Jeez.
Oh,
Great.
that's good.
So
Great. Fantastic.
it would be tough to say that you don't yelp a little bit in pain. You guys actually hear the sound of a mechanism, gears grinding and turning, as you also hear Tarathiel just yell out in quick, sharp pain, and then
Probably hear me hit the floor.
silence. Are you out? Are you at 0?
No,
Oh.
but it probably would fall over anyway.
Thematic fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the drawer is open. You're bleeding profusely from your lack of a digit.
Arterial spray.
Yeah.
I could do with a hand.
At least a couple of fingers. You guys.
Fair's on hearing that will run upstairs.
Okay. And actually,
Quietly.
Rufus even heads up with you. He seems he has a look of genuine concern on his face. He's like, "Oh my goodness," and he takes off behind Farazan. Run upstairs, you see Tarathiel basically sitting on the bed holding the nub of another missing finger, bleeding profusely, blood all over the floor. What do you
Find
do?
that for me, will you? Might have gone under the bed.
He'll Farazan will reach down and kind of like set him, grab him like under the arms and kind of put him onto the bed, help him out.
Rufus comes up, touches you on the shoulder. If you don't mind, I can help you.
That would be great.
Touches you on the shoulder, heals you for 12 hit points.
Okay.
Can we reattach? Farazan says, "Can we reattach his finger?"
Maybe when I have 6 level spells.
Unfortunately.
So in the bottom drawer, which I'm sure everybody's now curious about finding, Tarathiel, you are no longer bleeding. Rufus has healed you. In the bottom drawer, you find a book that is got a little latch lock on the cover of it, sitting in there. And that's it.
Just hands it to Farazan. Can you kick that open?
Kicks it through the window out in the street.
Yeah, just chuck it out the window.
I'm sorry. No, there's another book in here as well. It's a book titled "Building Better Locks." Probably valuable to a locksmith.
He's definitely taking that one to heart.
Well, we do have a locksmith that we need to get on our side, so maybe we should give it to him.
Good idea.
Take it out from his bedroom and give it to him. Here, I have a gift for you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe.
And then he has to give us the face like, thanks. I've always wanted this book. I don't definitely have a copy at home.
While this is occurring, I am going to summon Pazel under the cupboard.
Okay.
In the stairs, under the stairs.
So Pazel appears behind the door, and inside or behind the stairwell, under the stairwell, is another stairwell that it follows the same trajectory of the stairs, but it goes down to a sub-basement. And
so she flies around for a couple hours. Is it the same map? I'm kidding.
Okay.
So
Good.
the stairs go down to like a door or something.
Go down to a landing and take a right. And from where she is, she has advantage on her perception with auditory as well, right?
Yes.
All right. No roll needed. She can hear what sounds like laughing and birds tweeting and the sounds of spring from down the hallway, down the stairs, around the corner. Completely dark.
Like children's laughing?
Not necessarily. More. No. I mean, you're probably thinking orphans. No, this is more like gnomes, adult gnomes laughing. So it's kind of a higher pitch sound, but it's not children.
Freaking weird.
This is weird. This is weird.
It's a gnome colony.
It's an infestation. Almost got it.
Okay.
Almost got it.
All right. So I am going to recall her.
Okay.
All right. And then I'm going to go back upstairs with the rest of the crew.
Okay.
And see what damage I can repair.
As far as I can tell, nothing really is damaged, right? You successfully opened the lock, didn't have to kick open the door. Can you repair a finger?
Let me see.
I can't believe I called it that. Holy shit.
The spell repairs a single break or tear in an object you touch, such as a broken chain link, two halves of a broken key, a torn cloak, a finger, or a leaking wineskin.
I feel like you added finger to that.
Or an elven robe.
Sorry,
Maybe.
it's rules as written. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
Holy
theoretically, if the finger is dead, I might be able to repair it.
shit.
It
Yes,
may
you
not
can, you
work
can
very
repair
well.
you can repair his pinky to his ring finger, since they're both objects, and have like one long, strange double fingernailed finger.
It says you can physically repair a magic item or construct, but the spell cannot restore magic to such an object.
Okay.
So it definitely sounds like it has to be a non-living thing.
Yes.
That
Absolutely.
makes-
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Is this book thing locked?
It is locked. Of course it's locked. What are you thinking?
Farazan looks down and he says, "Do you need me to tear the lock off?"
Why don't we ask the gnome to open it?
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Right. I forgot. He's come forward, or at least run forward away from us. So yeah,
So
we
Rufus
have reason to believe he's innocent.
Rufus is standing there kind of shyly embarrassed for everybody. Like, I mean,
We're sort of in Jill's bedroom.
Keegan is at the church. He's wanting to talk to you. What, can we leave his house? And this doesn't seem appropriate to me. I don't think you should be. Let's go talk to Keegan.
You mean Gelf?
Gelf is his last
Keegan
name.
Gelf.
It's Keegan Gelf.
Oh, got it.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
Please, can we leave his bedroom? And he's
Okay.
kind of like motioning towards the door.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that I forgot, Jamie forgot. But yes. Farazan will stop breaking things open
Excellent.
and follow Rufus.
Okay. So the four of you, yes, go.
Yep, four of us.
Yes,
Okay.
I
So
heft up the invisible kobold and take it with us.
So you heft it up, carry it, heading through town to the Church of St. Cuthbert. Described it earlier. It's got the two giant statues of the warriors holding the mace up high and the oaken door. Walk inside. Excuse me. And there are acolytes doing just daily business. There's people in here, several just citizens praying. There's holding a church service. Rufus kind of beckons off to the side along the main auditorium to a back room where you find Jenya sitting in her rectory. I don't know what the word is for that religious stuff, but in her private office, sitting behind her table, behind her desk, and in a nice, comfortable chair, you see a gnome sitting there drinking something out of a cup that's steaming, and they were kind of in the middle of a conversation as you open the door. Jenya, looks over, stands up. Gentlemen, please come in. Shut the door. Keegan
Kick the door down.
Keegan has been
think he's
telling me
talking to you.
an interesting story. Keegan, would you care to share with them? This is Keegan Gelf. He is a gnome, not a human. I had no idea. I'm sorry. Keegan, please, you can speak for yourself. And Keegan he stands up and nods a little bit. Sorry I had to run out. You literally scared the hell out of me. I did not know why you were there. You have missing a finger. I had the invisible watcher in my room always keeping an eye on me. They made me do the things I did. I did not really want to do what I did.
You mean this guy?
He stops and looks. He reaches out. Oh goodness, you killed it. Oh goodness. Oh no.
Actually, it killed itself. It threw itself against our weapons and jumped in fire.
Well, That doesn't sound like a realistic story.
It's
But
a bonfire of
I'm not.
self-defense.
I wouldn't call you a liar. I'm not calling you a liar.
That's
But
probably for the best.
you shouldn't have killed it, though. Now they're going to kill him, and there's nothing I can do about it. And I've had him for years, and I don't
Kill
know what to
who?
do. Starbrow, they're holding my rat familiar hostage. And they swear if I don't do what they tell me, they're going to kill him.
Who's they?
Well, one of those things, but there's others that talk.
Are they under the stairs?
Yeah. Oh, you found the door. Oh, yeah. Yes, they're under the door. Have you been down there? Have you been down to Jazadru?
What was that?
As Jinya's pouring a cup of wine and hands it over to you. we have
Sorry.
we have production value. Jadaroon, the forgotten legendary city of the gnomes. It's below
That
my
is-
house. Jadaroon.
There's a city below this guy's house.
It's more of a not a city. It's not that big.
Hovel.
It's
2 rooms.
Well, it's bigger than that. I would call it a fortress. Yeah, it's a gnomish fortress. Jadaroon. I'll spell it for you. You look like you need to know how to spell it.
I'm
Yes, we
working
do.
on that. Would be very nice.
JH.
For
Oh
you.
wait. That's in common. Wait, in gnomish it's JZ. So JZADIRUNE. Jadaroon. My people abandoned it 75 years ago because it became infested, diseased, uninhabitable. But my family decided to stay and make sure that it was kept a secret. And he takes his hat and fiddles with it, and he changes into this humanoid, the human version that you met initially.
Yeah. Okay.
This was how I've been keeping it secret this whole time. And he fiddles it again and goes back down to the gnomish version of Keegan.
Nice.
So I understand you're not going to kill me. And he looks over at Jinya and she nods. Listen, now that you've killed that watcher, and Jinya at this point, everybody's been discussing and referring to and pointing at and touching. She gets up and she walks over and she holds her hands out for the body. May I examine it? Asking
Sure.
Khaldun.
Sure. Yeah, I lay it down on the ground.
Okay. And as Keegan continues to talk, it was the last laugh. They're the ones that approached me, but they told me it was on behalf of these things, these creatures, these invisible creatures. There's more than this one. There are bigger ones and littler ones, but they didn't tell me what their plans were, but they did take Starbrow. And I don't know what I can do with it. They took Starbrow and said that they would kill him if I didn't give them new locks for the orphanage and give them a key. But they didn't tell me they were going to take the I don't know what I thought they were going to do. I was terrified. They had Starbrow. I don't know what.
Maybe they were going to sneak more orphans in when nobody was looking.
I don't know. I did not see them come or go after they showed themselves to me. I didn't see them bring the children in. I don't know when they did it. They do everything at night. That's why I keep my doors locked. There's that one. Well, there was that one that was keeping an eye on me, and now, if he's not there, I don't know what they're gonna do, and they're gonna.
You're saying they took the children into the fortress under your house?
I can only imagine. That's where they come and go from. They've been there for a while,
The Last Laugh or the Watchers?
The Watchers. Those invisible Watchers. Can hardly see them even when they move. They're very scary. And they have Starbrow. I really would love for you to go and find Starbrow for me.
So you called Starbrow your familiar.
Yes.
Are you a wizard?
I am an illusionist. He tips his hat.
Okay. So
is that
I
a-
summon
Is that a
Pazel.
wizard?
What's that?
I summon
that a-
Pazel.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
I said, is that a wizard?
That.
Yes, I am a wizard.
Yeah.
I am an illusionist. It's a special kind of wizard that makes illusions.
It makes sense.
Okay. So I am able to conjure my familiar, as you can see. Can you not do the same?
Well, no, they have him.
How long have you been a wizard?
It's not a very good one.
I've been studying a good portion of this year. It's basically March. No, actually, it's later in the year. It's probably around September, as far as the distance throughout the year. I've been
It's the
almost-
Greyhawk
almost a
equivalent
year,
of Pi Day.
basically. Which I saw today was mathematicians trying to sell
Yeah.
math. Yeah.
Trying to sell more math.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stop big math.
How do you sell math?
So,
I mean, it's
Not with that attitude.
why do you ask?
Because I can show you, if you can go buy some incense, I can show you how to summon your familiar. If you're really that concerned about it.
Well, I've done that. I had the incense. I did the ritual. I did the incantation, and I summoned Starbrow, this most perfect rat.
If you'll do that
I
again,
miss Starbrow.
it will summon him to you.
But it won't be the same. It won't be Starbrow.
You haven't been a wizard very long, have you?
At least a year. And he does something and casts light. See, I have power. I can do spells.
Impressive.
Why are we talking about a rat when there's 4 children missing?
Well,
Yeah.
well, yes, I can see how that would be inappropriate. You're right. I'm very certain that the children were taken into the basement.
Then
So-
we must go
Children
back
understand.
immediately.
You should go back. You should absolutely go back. And while you're down there, should you come across a very large gray rat, I would be most appreciative if you would bring him back to me, please. Very much. Thank you.
Sure, we'll keep an eye out.
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you. And
Farazan looks at Khaldun and says, "Do you have magic to make these things, or to make us able to see them?"
I do not. I can learn that kind of magic, but I don't know it right now.
so you're talking about the spell See Invisibility, I'm assuming, right?
See invisibility. Yeah,
That's a second level spell, isn't it?
it is. Yeah, but
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
I can learn it eventually. I don't
Right.
know it now.
Okay. And so while Keegan's been telling his story, Jenya's been kind of crouched down beside this invisible body. After a few moments, she stands up. She goes, "Oh, I've heard of these before. Well, haha,
Uh-huh.
the joke.
Never encountered one before.
Never encountered one before, but I have read about it before.
Thesaurus.
This is known as a skulk. It's a creature of shadow from the plane of shadow. They're usually summoned for services. They're permanently invisible. Actually, you can see them if you look at them through a mirrored image. So if you hold a mirror, and she goes over to her desk, pulls out a small mirror, and holds it beside the creature, And when you look into the mirror and see the reflection, you can see the creature. And it's a grayish blue humanoid, almost no ears, very few features. And she holds the mirror in different angles, and you can see the full body. You can see these through a mirror. And actually, they say that children can see them. But as you grow older, you stop to believe that they exist. You hear about children having invisible friends. Well, sometimes they're actually skulks. I don't know about that. They're not inherently evil, but they're a little wily. So you've got a skulk. Yeah.
Farazan frowns at the fact that kids can see these things. He says, that sounds terrifying.
Oh, no. Of course, you're basically a child when it comes to your mind.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean,
Why can't Farazan see them?
Right.
Farazan can see them, yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's on the young side, and obviously this is all new to him. But he says, "Can, what is yeah? So, is there no magic, or something that we can use to spot these things? If there are many of them, it will be very dangerous for us to go into their hideout."
The only ways I know besides casting spells like reveal invisibility is to use a mirror or take a kid with you, which don't.
That's exactly where my mind went. I'm like, Tarathiel's not going to bring that up, but we could just borrow some orphans.
We're going to go back to the orphanage.
Oh, geez. How old is your familiar?
Well, it's a fey spirit. It's probably 10,000 years old.
Probably thousands of years old.
It reminds me of I saw a question on Reddit once where somebody asked why Rogue and Gambit didn't have a sex life by getting Leech to take away Rogue's powers. And the top comment, which was upvoted like 1,000 times, is because you don't include a child in your sex life, which I just thought was the best possible response.
God, I haven't read an X-Men comic book since I was a child.
Yeah.
We've been watching those on Disney Plus at dinner.
Speaking of that thing, just real quick, I've been following the Marvel watch it in order kind of thing, and I've seen the first season of the season 7 of what's that TV
Agents
show?
of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Thank you. And then I watched the first Avenger, Captain America, the first Avenger, and now and then I watched the little one-off, the 15-minute video they did with Agent Carter, and I'm now watching the first season of Agent Carter. So I'm working my way through kind of watching. The way they did it, they said it chronologically. So I don't understand why they said the first season or the full entire season 7 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because it's really only the first 2-3 episodes that are in that time frame.
Go back in that time, yeah.
Yeah, so it moves on, but spoilers, I guess. But anyway, that's way off topic.
Speaking of segues, back on track.
We're right on back in on mine. So you're sitting there. Keegan has told his story. One other thing that Jinya does mention is these things rely on their invisibility, their ability to hide and not be, to be unseen. They're basically cowards. So should you either see one or attack one and hit it, they're gonna run. They're not known for sticking around. Now they're gonna run and hide and try to ambush you. These are ambush attackers, so be careful. But I have no assistance for you, I'm afraid.
Then we should get going.
To the mirror store.
Wear some
mirror-ary.
mirrored shade glasses.
Yes, exactly. Wear them inside out. The mirror's inside.
No, those we have to send
Go full
off in a
step and Molly.
magazine. Yeah, it sent off at the back of the magazine with those spy glasses that have the mirrors on the outside, so you can see behind you.
Yeah.
Just walk backwards.
And before you leave, Keegan he hops up. He says, "Oh, before you go, I have something for you. It might help you in your mission." He pulls out an enormous ring of keys, pulls through, pops one out, and says, "This will open the door to my bedroom." He hands it to you. Pulls out another key. This will open the chest of drawers in my bedroom, and be careful. There's a little button on the side of the bottom drawer. No, don't go in the bottom drawer. That's my spell book. The middle drawer, it's not trapped. So don't open the bottom drawer. It will probably slice you. Ignore what I said about a button. It's not there. The middle drawer has a nice leather map of Zadarun. It's not completely detailed, but it might help you while you're trying to find your way through there. My gift to you. And thanks for saving my rat.
Farazan looks at Tarathiel and says, he says, "Is that what happened to your finger?"
Rufus is very interested in the wall at this point. Just kind of scratching it, looking around, not making eye contact with anybody in this room.
No, I had a run-in with the last laugh with the face paint.
Very
Rufus
good.
continues.
We should go now.
If you find a finger on your floor, it's not mine.
What?
Nothing. Don't worry.
Keegan, if your spell book happened to be locked, would there be a key for it?
Yeah.
Hypothetically.
Yes.
Hypothetically, Mr. Locksmith.
Would you mind if I looked at it?
You're going to get sliced in half by the trap, the evil, deadly, vicious trap I have on there.
I'm a wizard.
I'm a wizard, Keegan.
I'm afraid for your safety. I mean, why?
I'm not going to steal it. I just want to look at it.
Okay.
I'll trade you. I'll trade you spells. How's that sound?
Well, I would be very interested in that. How about this? I will let you copy any spell you want, all the spells you want, if you get Starbrow. Deal? Please,
Deal.
please get. Oh, thank you very much.
I will get your rat.
I appreciate that.
We'll get you that.
I feel better already. It's like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Okay,
Farazan leaves.
hurry along. There's no telling how often they check and see. Check on the watcher. Probably at night. You should probably go now.
Please
Farazan's
go.
gone. He's gone.
Get out of here quickly. For the rat.
And you guys head out. Keegan sits back down on the couch and continues talking with Jenya, who goes back around. Rufus stays in the room, shuts the door behind you. Head back out, go into Cauldron, move on back around, get to Keegan Gelb's locks.
Mhm.
Walk over to the door under the stairwell.
Mhm.
Now what?
Did Tarathiel get this? You got the spellbook, did you?
No, I left the spell.
Oh, you left it. Okay. I'm
I
gonna
was
go
gonna
get it.
With his finger. Huh?
Mhm.
I'm gonna go get it.
Okay. Let's go up. The door is locked. You have the key. Go to the
Okay.
chest of drawers. The door is locked. You have the key.
Just tried to put my
Right.
token on the stream again.
Yep. Yeah, I'll go up there, and with Mage Hand, I will open the door from across the room.
But before Khaldun heads upstairs, Farazan will catch him by the shoulder and says, "We must go downstairs quickly. there are children in danger, and he will open the door.
Okay.
Farazan opens the door.
Mm-hmm.
And
Loses a hand.
just a finger.
Yeah.
And behind the door, you see the stairwell.
It's an arrow.
Goes to the right. That arrow is indicating a direction. The stairwell goes to a landing. It takes a right. And this is where we'll pick up next time.
I'm huge.
Shrink your face.
I can't. I need you to do it.
Mike, where did you get your artwork?
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Thank you.
Hang on. I got it from a person on.
DeviantArt?
Hang on a second. I got it there. Yeah, it's an artist by the name of Radial Art on. What's it called?
You reached out and contacted him because you're using.
I did.
his
I'm just
token.
trying to find the email just so that I can
Right.
make sure I get all the details right, because I don't want to tell anybody the wrong details. Come on, emails, quick.
This was not a commission piece, but it's something that they had already existing, and you found.
Yeah,
it
it's something that this artist did in 2015, I believe. It is Radial Art on DeviantArt, and I will drop a copy of the picture into our Discord.
And he gave you permission.
He did. So
Yes.
I reached out to him to say, I was inspired by this piece of art. I thought it was really cool. Could I use it on the stream? And he gave permission. So it's an artist by the name of Riccardo Muscatello.
Ricardo Muscatello. Well, it's a very
Excellent.
cool token. I like it.
Yeah.
Reminds me of
I,
kind of a Braum a little bit. Ish. The Brahmish style. That's just me looking.
What's a Brahmish style?
Braum, an artist, he did a lot of the work for Dark Suns. That kind of that long, wispy, angular kind of style. Very, very specific, very stylized. Braum art,
okay.
B-R-O-M.
I scrolled through some of that artist's work, and they had some that were very recognizable, and kind of one near where you found Tarathiel. I looked and said, "Oh, that looks like a medieval Vegeta," and down at the caption it said "medieval Vegeta," and I was like, "Oh, there you go."
Perfect. Exactly what you want.
It's exactly
You win.
perfectly
that?
recognizable.
What's a Vegeta?
Dragon Ball Z character.
Oh, okay. That is probably why. Okay, cool.
It's a crass term for referring to a vegetarian.
Nice. All right, but yeah, I wanted you to remember that.
Yeah, I'm glad you reminded us.
Yeah.
We were talking
That
about
was
that.
really, really cool. But yeah, I reached out to him and he said, "Yep." His exact words were, "It's an old work of mine. You can use it in your campaign, but make sure he kicks some asses."
Yeah.
So,
So
didn't
far,
kick any
so
asses
good.
in this session.
Doing great so far.
Yeah,
Great. I got eight more. Where those came from?
that's right. Yeah.
Honestly, I never in a million years expected for that to roll a 20 on the crit, on the
Well,
trap.
That's perfect. That's exactly what you want.
Yeah, jeez.
It actually, thinking about where I want to go with the character, it makes for some interesting story as well.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad I could assist you by removing digits.
By dismembering me.
Yes.
Thanks, Matt. You're
So,
my favorite.
The Abjurer is wearing a necromancy shirt. What's up with that? Just noticed your T-shirt.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's
Show
not.
and tell time.
Oh,
It's a
he's
dying
not-
art. Oh, that's beautiful. Necromancy.
Necromancy, it's a dying art.
I wore this in honor tonight because I wasn't sure exactly where we were going. But just in case, I was ready.
What is it?
My,
Oh,
my Punisher. Punisher T-shirt. In case y'all got in combat again.
Uh,
oh man. All right. Sounds good.
Well, we're going to end the stream. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We will be. So let's do a quick discussion then. Mike, you are other side of the planet. We've got daylight savings times. Do we want to adjust our recording time to 9 o'clock? Eastern Standard. It'll give you more time to do what you got to do and get set.
That would be best for me if we can do that.
Jamie, Heath, is
Which
that
I think,
okay?
because I'm 12 hours different now, is just 9 o'clock for me. So
Right.
I'm good with that.
I believe that would be okay. I'll have to double check the schedule. And by schedule, I mean the family.
So we're going to try to stick with an hour and a half. We went, tonight's session was a 2-hour stream, but the first 25 of that was just, us basically waiting on Mike to finish up what he had to do. So if we plan on starting at 9, it'll be 9 to 10:30. So
Yeah,
we're
about
going
this time.
until the time changes again in 6 months, we're going to start planning on recording at 9 p.m. on Sunday nights here on the Back Patio Twitch network channel thing.
deal stuff.
Cool.
Stuff.
All right.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for accommodating me.
Hey, of course. Thanks for joining us from the other side of the planet.
It's the only place I can join from.
Cool having you.
You join from another room in the house, maybe.
Just fly over here every Sunday.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for
That's
watching.
fine.
We will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Catch ya.
All right. See you, everybody.
Good night.